Yep. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. All right, so cool. What's good, everybody? Just coming to you guys today to talk to you about a little bit about more about basketball and things like that. Obviously, I got my dad on here with me. So first things first, we're gonna start out talking about the NBA All-Star game that's about to be coming up. We're gonna talk about the starters in the game, and we're gonna choose which side we think is best gonna win and who the MVP is gonna be for each side. Do you still have the list of people who's going to be All-Stars or no?
Yeah, I got it.
All right, go ahead. Name the All-Stars.
For the West, it's Jokic, LeBron, Shea Gilchrist, Kevin Durant, and Curry. For the East, it's Giannis, Brunson, Mitchell, Jason Tatum, and Karl Anthony Towns.
All right, bet. Now, who do you feel like is going to win that game?
I think the West is going to win, definitely, because some of the better players in the East are injured right now, Embiid and Paul George, and because they're hurt, it also kind of kills the bench for the East also, because guys that would be coming off the bench now they're going to have to be plugged into the starting lineup.
That's true, but like I said, I was saying this before. I think that the East is going to win off the fact of they got guys who are developing stars, who are just now starting to come into their own as stars in the NBA, opposed to the West, where once again I think that Nikola Jokic very rarely plays serious in All-Star games. Then you got like what'd you say? Got Curry,
LeBron,
who Curry's going to be shooting it from far as hell. You got Durant, who I could see actually playing serious, but I don't think that I think that he's got to be taken there, you know what I mean? But I feel like Brunson, he's going to go hard. I feel like Giannis consistently goes hard. Donovan Mitchell, I think that he would love to see himself win an MVP of an All-Star game. I could see Karl Anthony Towns doing the same thing. I just feel like the East, like I said, they got guys who are actually out there trying to prove something maybe during the All-Star game. But
that's true. That's true.
Who do you feel like? Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say the only person really in that starting lineup for the West that really has anything to prove right now is Shea Gilchrist.
Yeah. I mean,
and I could see him coming out and making a major push to try to be the MVP.
I could see him doing that too. He seems like that type of person. But I still, like I said, I feel like the East is going to win the game. Even though they might be down a couple stars, I still think that there's a lot of firepower in the East. I'm not sure the players who are on the roster who just aren't going to be starting. But even when I think of people like Paolo Banchero, if he's on the team, or anybody like that, I just feel like the East has a bunch of players who are young, who they're going to be experiencing first-time All-Star games or second-time All-Star games, and this might be their opportunity to go after the MVP, and I feel like they'll take it. But with that being said, you say you feel like the West is going to win. If the West wins, who do you feel like is going to be the MVP of the West?
Man, I mean, the whole starting lineup could possibly, if they really want to be the MVP, but I really think they're going to step back for the young guy.
You think SGA will be the MVP? You think SGA is going to be the MVP of the All-Star game?
Yeah.
That's a good pick, and I could also see that happening, but like I said, I'm going with the East, and this is hard. I feel like it's hard on the East because, like I said, Giannis has a track record of going hard during All-Star games and just trying to dunk everything and get 50, and so I could see him going after it, but I feel like the person who is most likely to get it this year, I don't know. It's like I said, it's tough on the East, but I'm gonna go with Donovan Mitchell just because of the way he can score, and he has like it's an All-Star game, and he has like all the qualities of like a spectacular type player. He's got really nice ball handling. He's really quick. He can jump really high, and he can shoot the ball at a really high rate. So I think just with those things alone, he'll be able to showcase, you know what I mean, why he should be the MVP or whatever. So I'm going with Donovan Mitchell as the MVP.
I figured you would say. I figured you would say Jason Tatum.
I can see
Because
Jason.
even though they won the championship last year, he really got no accolades.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He didn't get the MVP of the finals. He didn't get the MVP during the regular season. Then he went to the Olympics, and he didn't really get the playing time like that. So out of all those guys from the East, I would think he would have more to prove than anybody because, I mean, you know, he just got overlooked all last year.
No, yeah. I feel like that's a good point, and I could see him coming out playing like with a chip on his shoulder and really going for the MVP. More than anything, though, I ain't going to lie, hopefully they just play the game serious because if they play the game serious, any one of these guys could be MVP, any team could win, and I think you would see the best brand of basketball played on the earth, to be honest with you. I feel like any all-star game that has become serious at any point, you actually see the best players in the world really competing at a high level.
Best game.
Yeah, and they be the best games and the funnest games to watch. So hopefully that transpires this year. All right, so let's move on and let's just talk about I ain't gonna lie, let's talk about the game that we saw yesterday with BYU and Baylor and tell some of what did you like most about that game, even though we both know? Go ahead and say what you think.
I just loved it. It looked like he was flowing during the game. And when I say flowing, I'm not just talking about making shots. His movement on the court, everything looked relaxed, and he was just flowing through the game.
Yeah.
And perfect from the floor. The way Catchings boosts Traore. Catchings. Oh, he's hot! Approaching the final minute of the first half. Catchings yanks it back. Knocks it down. Yegor Demin at the controls. Catchings. In the foose again. The help came. BYU moves it. Catchings is hot. Hit another! Catchings comes to the help of Traore. Catchings on Omier. A step back. Demin to the corner. Catchings with a burst. Catchings on the reverse.
And when he starts looking like that, he could have had at least 30 or 35 yesterday if the coach would have let him play.
No, for sure. But at the same time, I agree with you in the aspect of when he catches a rhythm, and I don't mean like in a game, I mean like the rhythm of the season, it'd be ugly for the next, you know what I mean, to the end of the season.
To the end of the season, man.
So I'm happy to see that happen. I thought it was cool that obviously he brought some historical value to himself yesterday as far as being the only freshman, or they said the only freshman within the last century to go 4 for 4 from behind the 3 for 3 from the free throw, or 3 for 3 from the mid, and be 100% in the game and score over 20. So that puts him in rare air, which I think is dope because I feel like him going over to BYU was crazy in itself because he was one of the higher ranked players that they've ever got, or the highest ranked player that they've ever got, even though I know that they want to bring Yegor into the equation now and things like that. But at the same time, that's not the case. The real case is that he was the highest recruit that BYU has ever pulled. And yesterday, you know what I mean, he had a historic game.
Right.
And I just want to say, hell yeah, way more to come. But I just want to say that I really liked it and I really appreciated it. And you know, because I just came from out there and he had a couple of tough games or whatever, but he just continued to work hard. We went to the gym. We was in the gym at nighttime when nobody else was there. We was there at 1 a.m. We was there at 2 a.m. on several different days. And it's just like he has not stopped working. Even though things haven't all necessarily went his way, he hasn't stopped working. But I also think that it's because it's kind of been a track record, like with him, with that type of scenario. But I think that happens often with other basketball players, but they don't know how to attack it, which is you just keep working hard. Yeah, it crushes them instead of them continuing to work hard and continuing to just like, find their moments and stay consistent in who they're going to be when they're out there. Like, that's literally what he showed yesterday.
They start to doubt themselves.
100%. Or they start saying, Coach don't want me to do that. Coach don't want me to do that. A real dog don't give a fuck about what the coach want them to do. They're going to go out there and play their game. And, man, that shit was spectacular.
With the results.
Yeah, hell yeah. And then, like I said, not to keep talking, but it was like, when we was watching the game, I said, I'm glad that the VJ Edgecombe kid was having such a good game. It made the game so much more memorable, and every shot that Cannon made was so detrimental to the game because if there was any misstep, if there was any missed shot, like Baylor was right there in the game. They was playing. But it was extremely exciting to watch. Do you have any more that you want to add to that?
No, except for that reverse layup was crazy.
Hell yeah.
The athleticism.
Hell yeah. Take it over the top.
Dunk on his ass. The lane, floated to the other side, finished with the and one. Yeah.
All right. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to just talk about some of the NBA games that are going on today. Probably should be a good amount of NBA games on today for the simple fact of I think there was only 4 on yesterday, so I'm sure that there'll be more games to play today, and we're just going to go ahead and choose who we think is going to win these games. So let's see. The NBA games that are playing today are the Nets versus the Hornets. We got the Pistons versus the Pacers. We got the Raptors versus the Wizards, the Cavs versus the Heat, the Kings versus the Sixers, the Bulls versus the Celtics, the Nuggets versus the Knicks, the Clippers versus the Spurs, the Mavericks versus the Pelicans, the Timberwolves versus the Suns, and the Thunder versus the Warriors. So I'll go ahead and I'll let you go first, and then I'll pick after. But who do you got between the Nets and the Hornets, and why?
I'm going to say the Hornets, and I don't have any particular reason other than the Hornets have been playing better than the Nets.
That's okay. So I'm going to go with the Nets, and the reason why is because I feel like LaMelo Ball might be hurt for the Hornets. I don't know if he's going to be playing or not. And I feel like the Nets, even though they're struggling, like I said before, I think that they have a decent roster and they should come through. Who you got, Pistons or the Pacers?
Pacers.
Why?
We've won like 9 out of the last 11.
Yeah.
Pacers are flowing right now.
I'm going to go with the Pacers too. Even though I love Cade Cunningham, I think he's doing a great job. But I do feel like when the Pacers are healthy, they're one of the hardest teams to beat in the NBA.
Yeah.
The Raptors versus the Wizards.
Raptors.
I'm going to go with the Raptors too. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Why?
No,
no reason why, just because the Wizards are the Wizards?
Yeah.
All right. The Cavs versus the Heat.
Cavs have been struggling here lately, and they need to bounce back and get on the winning track again. And the Heat, they got a lot of turmoil going on within their team, so I look for the Cavs to beat them.
I agree with you, Cavs. Kings or the Sixers? I'll go with this one. I'm going to go with this one. I'm going to go with the Sixers. And the reason why is because Tyrese Maxey has been having some really good games of late. They've won some games of late. And the Kings just put up a post yesterday saying that De'Aaron Fox, they're open to trading him. So obviously they have some negative stuff going on over there too if they're looking to trade their franchise player. So I'm going to go with the Sixers on that one.
Man. Sixers? Do we even know?
Yeah, Eric
Other
Gordon,
than Maxey?
Tyrese Maxey. They got decent players
I
still
seen
playing.
Paul George hurt his hand.
Yeah, he hurt his hand. Come on now, we can't take forever.
All right, well, I'm going with, who are they playing? Oh, Sacramento.
All right. So, Bulls and the Celtics.
Celtics.
I agree. Celtics.
They're way better than the Bulls.
Yeah, 100%. Nuggets or Knicks?
Where's that being played? Do you know? Can you tell?
I think it's being played at the Knicks.
I'm gonna go with Knicks.
I'm going to go with the Knicks, too. I think that the Knicks are flowing. They're a younger team. I think that they're just a younger team, and I think that they match up well with the Nuggets.
Yeah, and Denver seems to be struggling a little bit. I don't think Jamal Murray is all the way healthy,
Right.
which hurts them.
All right, now we got the Clippers versus the Spurs.
Clippers.
I'm gonna go with the Spurs in this one. I didn't tell you they're playing in San Antonio, and I think that the Spurs aren't obviously doing as good as what we're used to seeing the Spurs do, but I do think that they have the talent, and I think that Chris Paul is over there, and I think that he knows how to develop talent while on the court with them. So I'm gonna go with the Spurs. We'll see who's gonna win.
They have been playing better. They have been playing better.
All right, so we got the Mavericks and the Pelicans.
Mavericks.
Go.
No. Yeah, Mavericks.
I'm going with the Mavs too. Kyrie Irving's been playing well. PJ Washington's been playing well. The team is, they're up and down, but they have a certain level of consistency when it comes to play. You have to be a really good team to beat them, and if you ain't playing really good, you probably won't beat them. So Timberwolves or the Suns? They're playing in Phoenix.
I'm going to go with the Timberwolves.
All right. I'm going to go with the Suns just to mix it up. The Timberwolves obviously a good team. I like Rob Dillingham. Mike Conley's great veteran point guard. Obviously Anthony Edwards and everybody else who's over there. But I'm going to go with the Suns just because I feel like they've actually caught a good flow and they're actually playing better as well. And I just think that they got the older team, and I think they're going to get it done today. All right, now we got the Thunder versus the Warriors. Thunder. I'm going to go with the Warriors. I think that Curry's going to have a Curry game. Go crazy. I think it's going to be worth watching. So, yeah, I'm going to make sure that we're watching it.
I will say this. Tonight when we watch the game, you know me, I'll be rooting for the Warriors, but I just think the Thunder, they're rolling this year.
Facts. All right, well, to wrap up the show, I wanted to show a funny video.
This has been the worst team, the worst experience I ever did. Players, this is not on you. So listen. This is not on you. Players, y'all did everything. Y'all gave your heart. Y'all did everything right. It was the coaches. The coaches. All right. Listen up. This was the coaches' fault.